We were the first to take the Iron name. Ain't that right, boys? Yeah!
Did you hear what they said, Frank? This damn bucket on my head really makes it hard to hear. Huh?
Age of Sigmar Warcry, Ironjawz versus Iron Golems. Welcome everyone to another exciting Warcry battle report. Today we have a battle of armor, destruction, and of course iron. Let's show you the models we will be using this battle and then flip some cards to see what is in store for this combat. For the Ironjawz and the Hammer squad, we have the leader, the Brute Boss with Boss Claw and Brute Smasher, and an Ardboy to back him up. In the shield we have 3 Ardboys with Big Choppas. And finally in the dagger we have the Brute with Gore Choppa and a single Ardboy. For the Iron Golems, in the Hammer we have the Ogre Breacher accompanied by the Armator. In the shield we have the Drill Master, the leader the Dominar, and a single Iron Legionary with a Bolas. And rounding out, in the dagger we have the Perfector with 2 Iron Legionaries. For the duration of this battle, the Ironjawz will be the white dice and the Iron Golems will be the red dice. To roll off for priority, Iron Golems beat the 2 with a 3, so they get to flip some cards and choose deployment zones. We flip the terrain card first and are set up with a modest battlefield. Looks like most of the combat and movement will be taking place on the ground floor. Here's what it looks like all set up. Now we flip the deployment card, and we get a fun one called Defiant Stand. Since the Iron Golems won the priority roll, they've decided to set up their fighters in the blue locations. The Ironjawz will take the red. Let us see how this battle will be won. We flip the victory card to discover No Mercy. This battle will be an all-out bloodbath. The first warband to take out half or more of the enemy models wins the game. For both sides, it will be whoever takes out the first 4 models, they win. For the final card, we turn over the twist to see what we have, and it seems we are not holding back. Looks like in the first battle round, both warbands can boost the value to abilities by 2 to a maximum of 6. This may help get some early movement and damage in the first round. Without further ado, we head into battle round 1. First we roll off our 66 for both warbands. The Ironjawz get a triple 1 and 3 singles. For the Iron Golems, they get a double 1 and 4 singles. They have priority as of now and will change one of their singles into a double. The Ironjawz will decide to change one of their singles into a double as well. This gives the Iron Golems the initiative to start the battle. A simple activation to start the game for the Iron Golems. The Ogre Breacher will inch forward to create a blockade. Next is the Brute Boss leader who will spend the triple 1, which gets boosted to a triple 3 this turn, to use the Wah ability, and then moves forward towards the Iron Golem Dagger squad, also creating a makeshift blockade, thus ending his turn. Next is the Perfector. He will step forward and then use the double 1 Wild Dice, which becomes a double 3 due to the twist. He uses spine-crushing blows, which increases his strength. Now he is hitting on 3s against the Brute rather than 5s, and ends up dealing 9 wounds to the Brute Boss, ending his activation. Next is the Ardboy, that was benefited by the Wah. He rushes forward towards the Perfector, and using the double universal ability Onslaught, he adds 1 more die to attacks. The Perfector benefits from cover here, so the Ardboy is hitting on 5s and deals a whopping 9 damage to the Perfector. Next is an Iron Legionary, and he will use the double ability Throw Bolas at the Brute Boss. With a single 4, he deals a total of 1 damage. Then with his first activation, he will move forward, following up with an attack. Sadly, the Ironjawz armor is too tough for the Iron Mace, ending his turn. The Brute with the Gore Choppa follows up with a double move and only moves up 5 inches rather than 6. He wants the Iron Golems to come to him. Another Iron Legionary will charge forward towards the Brute Boss leader. She will swing in and attack at her foe, hitting on 5s. She manages to sneak through a point of damage. To follow up, an Ardboy will use a double move to trudge 6 inches forward to back up the nearby Brute. For the Iron Golems, the Drill Master will step forward swinging her chain. She takes a close range into the Ardboy, hitting on 4s, dealing a total of 4 damage. Then an Ardboy will move up 4 or so inches, forcing the Ogre Breacher in a future turn to move and then attack for an activation rather than attack twice. The Iron Golems Dominar leader is next. He shuffles forward and slams his hammer down onto the brute with Choppa. He manages to get a decent amount of damage through with a total of 9 wounds. On the other side of the battlefield, another Ardboy rushes forward to close in on the Ogre Breacher. The Iron Legionary with the Bolas is next, and he will move up a few inches so he's in range of the brute. Then he will start throwing his chains. He hits on a 5 and manages to squeak in 2 more damage, bringing the brute to 11 wounds taken. The last Ardboy then takes his turn. He copies his Auric pals near him and pushes towards the Ogre Breacher. This ends all activations for the Ironjawz. Last but not least, the Armator will scoot around the Ogre Breacher to give him some good old Dwarden backup. This ends Battle Round 1. No fighters were defeated this battle round, so no warband has taken the next step towards victory. A number of fighters have taken significant damage though. But I'm sure in Battle Round 2, some heads will fly off torsos. Let's move on to Battle Round 2. We roll 66 once again. The Ironjawz get 2 doubles and 2 singles. The Iron Golems roll and they end up getting a triple, double, and a single. The Ironjawz have decided to ramp up a double into a triple, while the Iron Golems move up to a total of 2 triples. To start off, the Ironjawz leader, the Brute Boss, will attack into the Iron Legionary to his right, just cleaving him in 2. For his next attack, he will swing into the Legionary directly in front of him. On this attack, he does not do enough damage to kill another Iron Golem. But at the end of his activation, he will use the triple for the ability Inspiring Presence. He will urge the Ardboy next to him to begin his activation before any other Iron Golems get a chance to go. The Ardboy now acts and begins to swing into the Perfector that is directly in front of him and using the Onslaught ability to give him an attack boost. With a plethora of damage going through, the Ardboy takes out another fighter. He then moves forward towards another Legionnaire, ending his activation. The Ogre Breacher is next and he is ready to smash forward using the Living Battering Ram ability. With this ability, he deals a couple damage to the 2 of the Ardboys he rampaged into. After this, he tries to wail down on the Ardboy to his left, dealing out some damage, but not enough to kill him. The Brute with the Gore Choppa is next and makes 2 attacks into the Dominar, sending out a whopping 15 wounds, but it's not enough to eliminate him. The Dominar will then attack back, but before that he uses the double ability with the triple on deck. He prepares a spine-crushing blow onto the Brute, granting hits on 3s. Unfortunately, the Dominar did not land any critical hits, but 8 damage is nothing to scoff at. An Ardboy activates next and then moves in closer to the Ogre Breacher. He swings in looking for 5s to hit, but his axe just grazes off the iron plating. The Drill Master is next and whacks in a couple attacks into the Ardboy, and she just hammers into him, dealing enough damage to kill the fighter. That is 1 Auric down, 3 to go. An Ardboy near the Ogre will swing next, hitting on 5s. He manages to get a crit, dealing out 4 damage to the Breacher. The Armator is next. The Dwarden shuffles forward to the nearest Ardboy to give a hand to the Ogre Breacher. He then will attack in, dealing a bit of damage, but not enough to eliminate the fighter. Following this, an Ardboy will attack into the Ogre, and actually manages to slam in 8 damage into the Giant. The Legionary with the Bolas will attack at range, attempting to kill the Brute nearby. And he gets extremely close, only needs 2 more damage. For the final activation of the round, this lone Legionary will attack into the Ardboy nearby. She hits on 5s and manages to get some damage through. This ends all available activations on the table. Battle Round 2 is complete. The Ironjawz have managed to take down a couple Iron Golem fighters, and only need to take down 2 more. The Iron Golems have to take down 3 more Ironjawz. This is going to be a close one here. Getting the initiative this next round is going to be key. So let's dive into Battle Round 3. As always, we start rolling 66. The Ironjawz roll up 2 doubles and 2 singles. And the Iron Golems get the same outcome. They both now roll off to see who has priority. The Iron Golems winning this roll. They decide to add a single to their pile of dice. But the Ironjawz do the same. Now they must roll off for initiative, and the Iron Golems sneak this one out and get to activate first. The Dominar is first and is looking to take down the Brute. He uses the ability Spine-Crushing Blows again to make his attacks hit on 3s. With his first attack, it is enough to take down the Brute. 2 more Orcs left. For his second activation, he will move his 4 inches out of frame. Next is an Ardboy attacking the Ogre Breacher, who will use the Onslaught ability and swing both attacks in. But unfortunately, not enough damage to take down the Breacher. The Ogre Breacher will go next and also use the Onslaught ability attacking into the Ardboy in the center. The first set of attacks was not enough damage, so he is forced to use both activations to kill the Orc. 1 more to go for victory. The Brute Boss is next, and he will copy the Ogre Breacher in just about every way this activation. He will use the Onslaught ability, attack into the Iron Legionary in front of him, but the Legionary is too tough. The Orc is forced to swing again, destroying the fighter. For the Iron Golems, the Armador is next, and if he kills the Ardboy here, they win the game. He swings his hammers into the Ardboy and lands 4 critical hits, dealing a total of 22 damage. That will wipe out the Ardboy, ending the game in a victory for the Iron Golems. The Armator came in the clutch at the end. It was an extremely close game. The Ironjawz destroyed 3 fighters by the end of the game and just an activation or 2 away from taking down another. The Iron Golems managed to pull off the victory by defeating half the Ironjawz warband. Sometimes a good old-fashioned smash and kill game of Warcry is what you need. No objectives, treasures, or outside forces creating havoc on the battlefield. Just a number of fighters and their will to take each other down at all costs. I hope you all enjoyed this battle report. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.